Today we're going to look at a proof using parallel lines and transversals, and we're going to look at a proof where we're trying to prove a pair of angles are supplementary and that they add up to 180 degrees. So as with all of our proofs, we're going to start with our given statements, and so we have that A is parallel to B, and our reason is that is given to us. And then our second statement is that C is parallel to D, and again that reason is given. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of pre-planning. And so we're going to look at what it is we're trying to prove. We're trying to show that angle 12 and angle 7, so 12 and 7, are supplementary or add up to 180 degrees. And so we currently do not have a direct route from 12 to 7. And so we're going to do a little bit of pre-planning. And I know that angles 12 and 3 are same side exterior, and so those add up to 180. And then 3 to 7 are corresponding angles, and those are congruent, so we could do some substituting. I also know that 12 and 14 are supplementary angles, with them being same side interior. And then from 12 to 14 same side interior, and then 14 to 7 are alternate exterior angles, and so we could do some substituting there as well because 14 and 7 are congruent. I could also go backwards. I could go from 7 to 1, 7 and 1 being same side exterior angles, those adding up to 180, and then from 1 to 12 being alternate exterior angles, those would be congruent, and then I could do some substituting. I could also go from 7 to 16, 7 and 16 same side exterior angles being supplementary, and then 16 and 12 corresponding angles and adding up to, being congruent, and then I could substitute. Additionally, I could also, 12 and 11 being a linear pair, I could say that 12 and 11 are supplementary and that they add up to 180, and then 11 to 3 is corresponding, and then 3 to 7 is corresponding. And so with this route, I've included an additional angle, and keep in mind, the more relationships that you include, the more statements and more reasons you're going to have in your proof. So we're going to try to be as efficient as possible. And so I'm going to focus on the route of 12 to 3. And so 12 and 3 are alternate exterior, same side exterior, because they're on the same side of C. They are same side exterior angles, and we know that they are supplementary. So my third statement is going to be that angle 12 and angle 3 are supplementary angles. And the reason that we know they are supplementary angles is by the same side exterior angle theorem, which says that if the lines are parallel, then the same side exterior angles would be supplementary. And so, as we've done in the past, when we have key words, the fact that we have a keyword of supplementary, we can say that the measure of angle 12 plus the measure of angle 3 are going to equal 180 degrees, and our reason for knowing that is the definition of supplementary angles, which says if angles are supplementary, then they add up to 180 degrees. Now, I need to now make a connection between angle 3 and angle 7, and we know that angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding angles, and line C and line D are parallel, so I can make the conclusion that angle 3 is congruent to angle 7 by the corresponding angle postulate. So, corresponding angle postulate. And again, because we're working with the measures of the angles, measure of angle 12, measure of angle 7, I can make the conclusion now that the measure of angle 3 equals the measure of angle 7 by the definition of congruent angles, which says if angles are congruent, then their measures are going to be the same. And so again, going back to the key questions we've had in class, is anything the same? Well, in statements 4 and in statement 6, I have the measure of angle 3 and the measure of angle 3, and I see that the measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 7, and so I can replace the measure of angle 3 with angle 7, and so I can make the conclusion that the measure of angle 12 plus the measure of angle 7 equals 180 degrees via substitution, because I'm putting one angle in place of the other, working with just two angles. And so you can see we've concluded what it is we're trying to prove. And like I said, there were alternate paths that I could have taken as listed here below. But again, I would like to caution you that if you do not want to include more statements and more reasons in your proof, that you look for one angle that is sort of like a go-between angle between your initial angle and the final angle that you're trying to connect that to.